Archangel Michael says, a person is coming with a hidden gift, but you must see this before they knock. Open it quickly, beloved soul. If you have found this message at this exact moment, pause for a while and breathe, because perhaps your heart has been waiting for words that remind you that not everything happening around you is visible to your eyes. There are moments in life when something is being prepared quietly, behind the scenes, long before you ever see the evidence. You may have wondered why certain doors remained closed, why certain people disappeared, why certain plans did not happen when you expected them to happen, and why your prayers sometimes seem to disappear into silence. But silence does not always mean nothing is happening. Sometimes silence is preparation. Sometimes the delay is protection. Sometimes the person you thought would never return is learning something they needed to learn, while someone completely unexpected is being guided toward your path. This message is an inspirational spiritual reflection inspired by the symbolism of Archangel Michael, a symbol of courage, protection, truth, and divine strength. Take from these words whatever brings peace and encouragement to your heart, and leave behind anything that does not resonate with you. There is a person coming into your life carrying something you may not immediately recognize as a gift. It may not arrive wrapped in beautiful paper. It may not come with a dramatic announcement. It may not look like the miracle you imagined. In fact, it may arrive through an ordinary conversation, an unexpected meeting, a message you almost ignore, a knock at your door, a familiar face appearing after a long silence, or a completely new person entering your world at the moment you least expect it. The gift may be something physical, but it may also be emotional, spiritual, or transformational. The gift could be an opportunity, an apology, a truth, a connection, an invitation, a second chance, a piece of information, or simply the presence of someone who sees your value when you have forgotten how valuable you are. That is why you are being encouraged to pay attention before you decide what something means. You have spent too much time judging situations by their first appearance. You have sometimes looked at a closed door and called it rejection when it was actually redirection. You have looked at distance and called it abandonment when it was actually protection. You have looked at delay and called it punishment when it was actually preparation. And now you are entering a season where you must learn to look deeper. A hidden gift requires a different kind of vision. You cannot always recognize a blessing by its packaging. Sometimes a blessing arrives disguised as something ordinary. Sometimes the person who changes your life does not arrive with fireworks. Sometimes they simply say hello. Sometimes they ask how you are doing. Sometimes they appear at the right moment when your heart is tired, and their presence reminds you that life can still surprise you. So before you rush past this message, ask yourself one simple question: what if something good is already moving toward me, even though I cannot see it yet? What if the silence around me is not emptiness but preparation? What if the next chapter of my life does not need to resemble the previous one? Beloved soul, you do not need to know every detail before you trust your journey. You do not need to know the name of the person, the exact date, the exact location, or the exact form the blessing will take. Your responsibility is not to control every detail. Your responsibility is to remain awake, discerning, peaceful, and willing to recognize what is good when it arrives. Archangel Michael is often represented as standing with a sword, and that sword can symbolize truth cutting through confusion. Let that symbolism speak to you now. Cut through fear. Cut through assumptions. Cut through the belief that nothing good can happen anymore. Cut through the memory of people who disappointed you. Cut through the voice that says you are always going to be alone. Cut through the habit of expecting disappointment before life has even given you a reason to expect it. Your past may explain your fears, but your past does not have to determine your future. Someone may be coming with a hidden gift, but you must be prepared to receive it without allowing old wounds to reject it before you understand it. Think about how many times you have prayed for change and then become afraid when change actually appeared. You asked for new opportunities, but when one arrived, you questioned whether you were ready. You asked for love, but when someone showed interest, you remembered everyone who had hurt you. You asked for financial improvement, but when an opportunity appeared, you immediately focused on every possible way it could fail. You asked for peace, but when life became quiet, you wondered why nothing was happening. Sometimes the blessing is not blocked, sometimes your attention is simply trained to look for danger. That is why this message asks you to become aware, not desperate. There is a difference between expectation and obsession. You do not need to chase the miracle. You do not need to force a particular person into your life. You do not need to interpret every notification, every dream, every coincidence, or every stranger as proof that something supernatural is about to happen. Instead, remain grounded. Let your heart be hopeful while your mind remains wise. If someone comes to you with a gift, listen to what they say, observe what they do, and allow their actions over time to reveal their intentions. A genuine blessing will not require you to abandon your boundaries. A healthy connection will not demand that you ignore obvious warning signs. A real opportunity will not require you to destroy your peace just to keep it. Divine strength is not about becoming blind to reality, it is about becoming strong enough to face reality without losing hope. There may be someone who has been thinking about approaching you. Perhaps they have something they have wanted to say for a long time. Perhaps they have been carrying an apology. Perhaps they have been waiting for the right opportunity. Perhaps they have been afraid that you would reject them. Perhaps they have realized something about you that they did not understand before. Or perhaps this person has nothing to do with your past at all. Perhaps they are entirely new. That possibility is important because sometimes we become so attached to one expected answer that we fail to notice the answer arriving in a completely different form. You may be waiting for one person to return while life is preparing someone who will treat you differently. You may be expecting an old opportunity to reopen while a better opportunity is already forming. You may be hoping for an apology from someone who never learned how to apologize, while another person is preparing to show you respect without needing to be asked. This is why you must release the demand that the blessing arrive exactly as you imagined. Your imagination is limited by what you already know. Life can introduce you to possibilities you never considered. The hidden gift may be connected to a person who has quietly admired your strength. They may have watched you survive difficult moments without knowing how much courage it took. They may have noticed your kindness when you thought nobody noticed. They may have remembered a small thing you said years ago. They may have recognized something beautiful in you that you were too busy struggling to see in yourself. And when they finally approach, you may wonder why they waited so long. Perhaps they were waiting for courage. Perhaps circumstances had to change. Perhaps you needed to grow. Perhaps they needed to grow. Perhaps timing mattered more than you understood. Not everything that is delayed is denied. Sometimes timing protects what premature action would have destroyed. Consider the seed beneath the soil. If you looked at the ground every morning, you might think nothing was happening. But beneath the surface, roots could be forming. The absence of visible growth would not mean the absence of growth. Your life can be like that too. You may not see the movement, but that does not automatically mean there is none. Your character may be developing. Your confidence may be strengthening. Your standards may be changing. Your understanding of love may be maturing. Your ability to recognize manipulation may be improving. Your patience may be becoming stronger. Your relationship with yourself may be becoming healthier. These invisible changes prepare you to receive visible blessings with greater wisdom. So when someone comes with a hidden gift, do not simply ask, "What are they giving me?" Ask, "What is this moment teaching me?" Maybe the gift is not merely what they place in your hands. Maybe the gift is the realization that you are finally ready to receive something without begging for it. Maybe the gift is learning that you can be loved without constantly proving your worth. Maybe the gift is discovering that you can say no to what harms you and yes to what nourishes you. Maybe the gift is closure. Maybe the gift is a new beginning. Maybe the gift is a conversation that finally releases you from years of wondering. Whatever form it takes, receive it with gratitude and discernment. You are not required to accept everything simply because it arrives at your door. A gift can be offered and still be wrong for you. Wisdom means knowing the difference. Archangel Michael, as a spiritual symbol, reminds you to stand firmly in truth. If someone enters your life, let truth be your guide. Do not be hypnotized by words alone. Watch consistency. Watch respect. Watch how they behave when they do not get what they want. Watch how they speak about people who cannot benefit them.